The world seems to be absolutely obsessed with deadly Australian animals, particularly Americans. If you interview your average American citizen, they are terrified of coming to Australia. Why? Because of the animals. They think they're going to be attacked from all angles from these creepy crawlies and slithering little sluts of animals that we have going around everywhere in our country. But here's the thing. We don't have teenagers shooting up lunchrooms. So I imagine that it's probably more deadly being in America, which I hope isn't the case because I'm going to America in September to do some shows. Come and see me at the Hollywood Improv. Come and see me at the Vulcan in Austin and at Stand Up New York in New York City. And please, to all the depressed teenagers out there, leave those weapons at home. All right, let's do it, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the top 10. And this list has taken a lot of things into account. Not just the amount of yearly deaths that these animals cause, but also the ability to take your life if they see fit. Yes, they are evil pieces of shit. All right, let's jump into this list, ladies and gentlemen. Here are the top 10 most deadly animals in Australia. So throw on your Akubra, grab a bit of Vegemite, stick your dick in the jar, and let's jump into it. And for some reason, we're going to start with number 11. I don't know why that is a thing, but Equus colobus. Yes, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. The Equus colobus at number 11. One of the most deadly animals in this country. And of course, if you didn't know, Equus colobus is in fact Latin for horse. Yeah. For some reason, horses are on this list. Now, I know that horses aren't from Australia, although we do have a very particular type of horse in this country. Say, for example, in England, they have the racehorse. In Australia, we have the racist horse. It's a much more fun version of the horse. But these giant animals are very deadly, okay? And there's two ways they can be absolutely diabolical. Number one, they're extremely powerful, right? They're heavy animals and they run very fast, which means they have fast-twitch muscle fibers so they can kick the fuck out of you, all right? Big old horses, big old hooves, and basically if you walk behind one, they're going to kick you into next week. But also, have you seen the dick size on horses? All right? If they want to deep throat you, they can deep throat you into the afterlife. That is not a threat. That is a promise. If you come to Australia, a horse is going to face fuck you. We're just lucky they're not like the face huggers from Alien vs. Predator. All right? We're fucking lucky that they don't just jump onto you and start throttling away trying to hit your epiglottis. All right? You want to get your epiglottis hit by a horse? Fuck that shit. When they jizz down your throat, you're going to choke on it for a fucking year. 50 years later, you'll be coughing up little chunks of horse and remembering that vicious moment that it jumped on your face. But anyway, 77 people are killed every single year by horses or cows in Australia. So in fact, more people are killed by horses or cows than spiders, than snakes, than sharks, than anything. So that's something to remember if you do come to Australia. Don't worry about the giant spiders or the snakes that are trying to, put Rohypnol in your drink and take you home and all that type of stuff. You need to worry about the cows, okay? You need to worry about the cows and the horses because they are vicious creatures, murderous animals, and they want you fucking gone. And the worst part about them, they're like John Wick, all right? They want revenge for all the shit you've done to their fucking people. But here's the proper list. Number 10, the geographic cone snail. Yes, this creature may look harmless, even cute to some fucking idiot, but the cone snail packs a vicious punch. It's dubbed the cigarette snail, meaning you have time for one more cigarette before you fucking die. Basically, it hangs out in the shallows like a rock pool or in the sand, and when it comes along a creature it wants to kill or a human it wants to take out to bump up its yearly death numbers, it harpoons you with a snail harpoon, which I don't believe is the technical term, but I'd like to make it the technical term. It's got a needle-like proboscis, much like a butterfly, but in a snail form, and it delivers cytotoxins that paralyze the victim. That is absolutely crazy. Not a lot of people know this, but Stephen Hawking was actually attacked by a cone snail. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to work out how to rid the planet of cone snails, and that's why the black holes came into it. He was going to send them all to space. It's a whole thing. But anyway, not important. There's no known antidote or anti-venom for this particular creature, and there could be enough venom in one harpoon sting from the cone snail to kill up to 15 or 20 people. So that is pretty crazy. But thankfully, there's only ever been one death recorded from a cone snail, and that was in 1935 of a diver who picked it up and, it fucking harpooned the shit out of him. So that sucks. Imagine getting killed by a snail. Pfft, nasty way to go. Anyway, number 9, the stonefish or the reef stonefish. Now, this continues along the creepy fucking weird live in the shallows or in the sand. The stonefish is, well, a fish that looks like a stone. I know. What an incredible way to name something. You look like shit. I'm going to call you the shit fish. Anyway, basically, the way the stonefish works is it's got spines on the back of its back. If you're walking along the shallows and you're walking around with your girlfriend, you're like, hey, babe, you want to go over there so I can finger you? And she's like, yeah, no worries, let's do it. And there you go, boom, straight on the stonefish and you're dead within 15 minutes. I don't know if it's actually 15 minutes. I should check my facts. There hasn't been a death in a long time. In fact, the most recent incident was in 2022 when a German tourist was stung by a stonefish in Western Australia, and he described the pain as like being kicked in the heart by an elephant, which is a weird way to describe something because I imagine he hasn't been kicked in the heart by an elephant. Anyway, they do have treatment for this, but the agony apparently from this particular fish is fucking crazy. And it's just awful. Your entire body goes into shock and you can die, particularly if you're in a vulnerable state from having a heart problem or a respiratory problem or something like that. You can actually die from a fish, which is pretty crazy to think that the first 2 on this list is a fucking snail and a fish. Yeah, I guess maybe the animals here are a bit fucked up. Number 8, the great white shark. Now, I don't call them white sharks because I don't see color, but the great white shark is the king of the jungle, underwater anyway, and it is definitely the scariest animal here in Australia. I know America has bears, like, you know, America, Russia, you guys have got bears. The Northern Hemisphere has a lot of those type of really scary creatures. In Africa, they got the lion. In Australia, we have the great white shark, and I know the great whites exist all over the world throughout the Horn of Africa and even up into up near LA there, but here, they seem to want to hang out and breed. There are even rumours in the Bass Strait, a part of Australia in the Tasman Sea there, between Australia and Tasmania. Tasmania is like a little incestual island that exists off Australia. It broke off years ago, thank fuck for that. Anyway, there are rumours of Megalodon, the giant sharks, prehistoric sharks, the ones that are like 10 meters or 30 feet long, these giant creatures with teeth as big as me fucking head that exist down there still. So that is fucking terrifying. Shan't be going down there. But even though these animals are vicious, they are deadly, very rarely do they attack. In fact, it is actually extremely rare to be attacked by a shark in Australia, considering how many people spend a lot of time in the water in Australia. It barely ever happens. In fact, it's much more dangerous to be an Indian tourist at the beach than to be in the water with a shark. There's 1 or 2 deaths a year from sharks in Australia. Some people say 3, but I don't believe they have a leg to stand on. Well done, come and see me live. They are fucking scary though. Where I grew up in a place called Dudley in New South Wales, there was a great white shark breeding ground just off the point in the cliffs there, and people surf there every day, and I don't think anyone's been attacked there. One person was attacked around the corner from that beach not too long ago, but other than that, over like 100 years, I don't think there's many people at all that have been attacked there. So they probably don't deserve to be any higher on the list, although they are scary as fuck. Number 7, we're still in the fucking ocean. Here's the tip. Don't go in the ocean. The blue-ringed octopus. Now, you may see a lot of videos of tourists picking up these particular octopi, all right? Now, I don't know what you think about octopi. They creep me out. Not as much as an octopussy would creep me out, but octopi, they do fucking creep me out. But the blue-ring octopi, a very cute creature. It's such a flashy-looking little dude. Like, it looks really cool. You want to pick it up, but you fucking shouldn't, you dumb. All right? It's gonna fucking kill you. This animal has a venom so potent, okay? 0.3 milligrams per kilogram will kill you. So that's not a lot. And bites have been, they're very, very rare. There's been 2 fatalities before 1960, but these guys are found in rock pools and all that type of shit. So if you are down at the beach with your kids, unless you got a kid that you don't like, probably tell them to avoid the blue ring octopus, okay? They're not fun, they're not cool, they are dirty little fucks. In fact, in 2006, a Brisbane woman was bitten by a blue ring octopus after it crawled onto her hand, and within minutes she was completely paralyzed and needed ventilation to survive. Fuck, that's crazy. Number 6, this is fucking scary. The bogan. What is a bogan, you ask? Well, this is something quintessentially Australian. The bogan is a very particular type of human. That's right. Number 6 on this list is the human being, but particularly the bogan. You see, serial killers happen to be pretty popular here in Australia. They've been popularized in the United States and all over the world, but in Australia, we have some pretty decent ones. And by decent, I mean they get the job done, I guess. But they have been very, very active. In fact, at the moment, there are reports of a serial killer being working, if you will, or being active in the Gold Coast and in Byron Bay. So 2 areas there where a lot of people have gone missing. In fact, in the Byron Bay area, up to 36 women have gone missing. Or was it 66? Something absolutely crazy. I think I'm going to do a video on it. So stick around for that. Make sure you subscribe, you dirty fucks. But yeah, so the human, if you're thinking about people like Ivan Milat, now he was active around the area that I live in and he killed a lot of people. He recently died as well. There was the Snowtown killings by a guy, John Bunting. He led this gang in South Australia. He killed a lot of people. David and Catherine Burney abducted and murdered 4 women in 1986. And there are a few more, but really, in Australia, a country of 27 million people or whatever, with migration, it goes up by about 500,000 every couple of days. But there's not a crazy amount. Okay, it's not that bad. In comparison to places like the United States or even the UK, it's pretty fucking safe here when it comes to human beings. Oh, by the way, the bogan is just like a redneck or a chav, depending on where you are in the world. Yeah, I'm a bit of a bogan. Number 5, the Sydney funnel web spider. These pricks live in your pool. All right, well, not in your pool, but they like to hang out by water, or they crawl around your garden. They are scary little fuckers. In fact, in Newcastle, where I live, there is a bigger version of this, not the Sydney funnel web. It's called the Newcastle Big Boy. That's really what it's called. But these fuckers can kill a human being in 15 minutes. So if you get bit by one of these fucks, I don't know what you do. If you cut your finger off or you only if you get stung in the finger, I guess. If you get bitten on the foot, don't cut your finger off. That's not going to help. But you need to get to a hospital quickly. There are a lot of places in Australia that make the anti-venom and they work with these. Well, they don't work with these spiders. There's problems with HR. There's a web of problems. It's pretty impressive that they have this amount of anti-venom ready to go. So I imagine that they have anti-venom plans and stuff in place to get these to people, because I see these occasionally. They're scary. I've seen them in my pool when I was a kid, and that was pretty frightening and stuff, because this is literally something that could stop your heart in 15 fucking minutes. So very, very scary. There's about 30 to 40 cases of bites per year in this country. But in saying that, there's only been 13 known deaths, and that was all before 1981 with antivenom. So you can die within 15 minutes, but you would expect people to live a little bit longer. I guess it depends on the health of the person as well. But yeah, there's 30 or 40 cases of bites a year and everyone lives, so that's nice. So maybe it's something to just do. Something if you're a bit bored one day, get stung by or get bitten by a Sydney funnel web, and then you got something to do that afternoon. Number 4. I thought this was going to be number 1. The saltwater crocodile. Known as a salty or fucking huge here in Australia, these pricks are giant. They're prehistoric. They're fucking dinosaurs. They are scary. I remember the first time I saw one in real life, and it was this, I don't know, it was at a zoo. I think it was at Taronga Zoo. They had this giant crocodile there. It's like 6 meters or something. And you get up close to it, and its head is like that wide. Its fucking jaw, it'll just swallow. It's fucked, man. The fact that there are parts of Australia where these pricks live and people live there, like everyone should just move south, because it's only in the north of Australia that these creatures even exist or cohabitate with humans. So just everyone get in your car. Actually, no, stay up there, you fucking gross fucks. You pricks hang up the top of Australia. The good people live down here. The fact that these coexist with humans today is absolutely crazy. Like, this is almost, if you didn't know that saltwater crocodiles existed, you would assume it's sort of like the saber-toothed tiger or dinosaurs themselves. Like, you would say, no, these things don't exist anymore, like these giant lizard creatures that just fucking eat people whole. Like, it is dangerous. And they kill 1 or 2 people every single year, maybe even more, particularly in the north part of Australia. That's where they hang out. That's where they like to play. And it is a serious issue up there. This is Bob Catter talking about how dangerous it is in relation to gay marriage.
People are entitled to their sexual proclivities. You know, I mean, let there be 1,000 blossoms bloom as far as I'm concerned. You know, but I ain't spending any time on it, because in the meantime, every 3 months, a person is torn to pieces by a crocodile in North Queensland.
But yeah, I can imagine that being pulled underwater by one of these giant creatures and then having a death roll incur upon your body would be pretty horrific. If you don't know what a death roll is, it's basically where they bite down with so much force, but it doesn't break through your arm or your leg until they start spinning around at ridiculous rates of speed and it just tears off. Fuck that. Number 3, the eastern brown snake. Now we're getting into actual terrifying creatures. Brown snakes, they get around absolutely everywhere. I've seen a few around where I live, and they fucking scare me. They are horrific creatures, these fucking brown snakes, and they're only little. Well, I guess they can get pretty big, but the ones I've seen are only quite little, but they are scary. In fact, I picked up a baby one when I was younger, and that was dumb. It didn't bite me, which was nice of it. But anyway, it's a scary looking creature. It slithers around, and I think somewhere around 20 to 35 snake bite fatalities have occurred in Australia in the last 2 decades. So that means that it is actually quite, well, not really. It's just as common on average with the saltwater crocodile and the fucking and the great white. So yeah, it happens, but it's very, very rare. And we have anti-venom, but this thing will really fuck you up. Like you see people, like, even though they have anti-venom, it doesn't mean you're out of the woods. Like, your arm might rot off and start stinking up the joint. Like, it might turn black and stuff. Not that there's a problem with black skin, but but if it's black from a snake bite, maybe there is a problem. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Neurotoxins, coagulants, so all your blood just coagulates and then it stops running, gives you a heart attack, a stroke, all that type of shit. So yeah, you need to be fucking careful of this type of stuff. The brown snake caused the death of a 16-year-old in Queensland in 2020. So yeah, you got to be fucking careful. And that brings us to number 2 on the list, the inland taipan. Now, you don't really hear about the inland taipan when it comes to snakes in Australia. I know I don't think of that. If I was asked what's the most deadly snake in Australia, I'd probably say the brown snake. But this type of snake is the most deadly, not in Australia, but on planet Earth. Yeah. Each bite has enough venom to kill 100 people with one fucking bite. That's crazy. We're talking paralysis, internal bleeding, and muscle destruction. That's how they kill animals. Your body starts to break down inside of you. They bite a rabbit, that rabbit's body, the muscles, everything starts to become like a fluid. It's fucking horrific shit. However, there are no recorded deaths from this snake. Yeah. This is the crazy thing about this country. There's a lot of deadly shit here, but these guys live so remotely in the middle of nowhere. And you got to remember that Australia is the same size as the United States, all right? And these guys live out in the bush, in the wilderness, in the desert, really, usually between South Australia and bits of Queensland, somewhere around those borders where they meet. So it's really not a problem, I don't think. And it's not as scary as the other ones. And this is probably why I've never seen one or thought about one. So there you go. Now you know it's the most deadly venom from any snake on Earth. And I guess it's like being a black belt in karate. Okay, he doesn't have to use it, but he just threatens people with it. All right, he's got to warn everyone that he's got a black belt, but he only uses it for good, not evil. The number one most deadly animal in Australia, and there's one quick honourable mention: the drop bear. I should probably talk about the drop bear. Drop bears are koalas' cousin. They're all they're right up to date with all their jabs, and they're super big and super strong and super autistic, and they're gonna fuck you up. Okay, so watch out for drop bears. Number one though, the number one most deadly animal in Australia. Once again, we're back in the ocean. Just stay out of the fucking water, guys. Is the Chiarentnerex flecarari. The box jellyfish. This transparent jellyfish hangs out in the northern seas of Australia, particularly up around the Northern Territory, and these guys are absolute. Each tentacle has thousands of microscopic harpoons injecting potent cardiotoxins that can cause cardiac arrest in minutes. This is like the lethal injection they put into people who have been sentenced to death or sentenced to die. It stops their heart. That potassium chloride, I think that's what they use. But this is similar, right? You get hit with this thing, a few minutes later, you're dead. How quickly, you want to know? Sometimes within 2 minutes. Shit. Imagine that, you're just swimming in the water and you get hit with one of these tentacles. And the thing is, these tentacles are long too. You might not even see the creature. Then you immediately get all this pain and then you're just dead. Around 70 known fatalities have been recorded in Australia from box jellyfishes. But that's since 1880. Like there was one in 2021 where a 17-year-old boy swimming off Cape York suffered a sting and died a week later. But it was the first death within 14 years. Rescue crews note that rapid vinegar dousing and CPR can sometimes save a life. This is the thing, and this is the thing with every single deadly Australian animal. There's no reason to be overly worried. Like, unless you're an absolute fucking goose and you go and pick things up and jump in places you shouldn't, or you're just really unlucky. Like, you're going to be fine. So don't be fearful of coming to Australia. Come along. Try a pie. Eat some Vegemite. Root your sister. Do the Australian things, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great part of the world. I thoroughly love it here. It's fantastic. If you haven't been here, you should come along. All right, ladies and gents, be a good motherfucker. Peace to the millies. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave it a like. If you didn't, fucking suck me off. I'll see you in the next video. We have 3 videos every single week. And until next time, toodaloo, au revoir. Bye-bye.